Speaking of the future, Pat, George Payton was asked yesterday because now, after you've completed 3 seasons, you're eligible for a contract extension if that's what you want to do now. You also have a 4th and a 5th year option that they could pick up, and then there's potential 2 franchise tags that could be thrown your way. So it's nothing that's urgent. But I believe it was the second question to George Payton, who makes these contract things, was about you. Was about, we know you like Pat. Do you want to get a contract extension done this offseason? And here's what he had to say.
I mean, we're all big fans of Pat. I think Sean said we're going to have a big meeting in a couple of weeks and kind of go through the entire roster, Pat included, and we want Pat here a long time. I'm not prepared to make any statements on anything moving forward.
Pat, you prepared to announce that a contract extension has been done?
I mean, shoot. Obviously, when you in the talks of like negotiating and contracts and stuff, obviously that's like, you see that in the horizon. Obviously, first 3 years you sat out a great couple of years, so there's gonna eventually become talks of that. Obviously, I don't know when the time being will happen, but me and George got a great relationship. I got the utmost respect for him. He got the utmost respect for me. So, whenever that time comes, whenever it's the right time, I'll definitely feel good about it, feel great about it.
Now, from like an outside perspective, when looking at contracts, there's kind of an advantage for both sides of getting it done early and maybe reasons for both sides to wait. I think an advantage for you to get it done right now, signing bonus, a lot of money up front, guaranteed money that hits the bank account right away. For the team, there's also an advantage too, because then it locks you in for a very long time, and then maybe also potentially lowers the average per year, because regardless of what sport, regardless of what position, just every single year the contracts get bigger and bigger. So that's the advantage for the team. The advantage for you for waiting is the exact opposite for the team doing it right now, is that average per year is only going to go up, especially as you only get more awards, as other cornerbacks around the league just get more. So when you view this, is this something that you want to get done sooner than later, or how do you approach this?
Yeah, like in situations like this, because obviously I'm new to it. And I just look at the best way was going to help shape my future. Obviously, with guaranteed money, obviously it's going to, hit your bank right away in a good, meaningful way. But I think when you look at it as negotiating wise and contract wise, I think what everybody like to do is wait, and they want to. If you think you're should be making top money, they'll wait out to make that top annual money that they rightfully so deserve. So it just depends on the right situation and the right timing of things. So that's how I view it. Obviously, when the time comes, I got a great agent in Tory Danny. He's great with these things. So when that time comes, I'm gonna reach out to him. He's gonna obviously tell me, the business side of things that I'm unaware of. But it's gonna when the time comes, obviously it's gonna be something that's gonna be, I'm gonna look forward to.
It's such a good point about kind of betting on yourself, because I feel like I only think of like players betting on themselves when they decline like a 1-year deal and they want to play on that franchise tag instead of taking like a cheaper long-term deal. But also, you're right, Pat. I mean, it is a little bit betting on yourself too, even though it's not just 1 year that you have left. You have 2, potentially up to like 4 years left on the deal. But there is some of that too.
Yeah, I feel like we always like to talk about salary cap now as retired players or analysts. As a player, like, do you think about? I know I never thought about that. Like for me, the money gotta work, and it gotta slot me as either where I play as a linebacker, my production, like that's all I care about. I don't care what y'all going through. My money gotta work out.
Yeah. For me, I mean, honestly, it's like in order to make that type of money, my production gotta show for sure. So it's like if you focus yourself just on I gotta get this contract, I feel like you're not so much worried about your play, like. Your play got to match that contract, and I feel like I'm focused like these first 3 years. Like next year of course too. I'm just focused on like staying level-headed staying on my play and staying consistent on the field.
We've done a
'cause
damn good job of that.
Exactly. Because if
That's
they
what I've
came
been
to you and was
focused
like, "Hey, it's a little tight for us right now, my
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Can you take a?" You like, what are you talking about? That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
bro.
does seem like, from the outside perspective, though, like, this should be kind of simple. Like, when you have a young guy like you who's, like, according to the All-Pro list, like, the very top of the cornerback list, you just take whatever the highest paid cornerback in the league is, add a little bit to it,
Yep.
and that's how it goes. Like, and you see it with quarterbacks, too. Like, it's like, it's Joe Burrow's time. It's Justin Herbert's time. And so you just add a little bit more on top. You know, like Quinn Miners, he's eligible for an extension, too. That's a little bit trickier because he, like, with offensive linemen, like, the accolades are different. Like, there's no stats to back things up. And so it's like, do you reset the market with him? Is he, like, top 5? But with you, it seems like when the time comes, the deal is just somebody's making 23 a year, you make it 25. Yeah. It seems pretty simple.
Yeah, like you said, it's just gonna keep rising annually a year. So, because obviously everybody's, like, as players, everybody looking like, okay, who's gonna reset the market? Who's gonna reset the market? Who's gonna do this? And you know, before it was like, okay, because I think right now Jair is the highest paid per year. And I think Denzel got the highest contract or something like that.
Yep.
So obviously I'm looking at that like, okay, how can I chime in on that, and how could I, increase that margin in a way?
So you don't necessarily want to get that contract tomorrow. You want a couple more guys to get some deals.
Yeah. That's what in
weeks.
everybody else's mind. Like, okay, I'm waiting for the next person to reset the market.
Yep.
And by that time it comes out, okay, now let me reset it. Let me be highest paid. So that's how players be thinking for sure.